Hey, what's up guys? Anaris here with a super quick introduction to this video. This is actually going to be one of my caster spotlight videos showcasing Commissar. He is a StarCraft 2 caster that's been around for quite some time, and I do try to occasionally give shoutouts to other casters and help them grow because really when we help everybody grow, it helps esports. So that's exactly what this video is. Pretty much just I told him that I'd be willing to put a video up on my channel of him casting, so he did this just for you guys. So be sure to leave a comment, let him know, if you like it, if there's something to improve, anything, whatever, just feel free to open a dialogue, and of course subscribe if you like his stuff. So without further ado, here is Commissar.
Hello everybody, this is Commissar here, and today I will be bringing you a 1vs1 StarCraft 2 commentary. And today's match is between Select, our red Terran player, spawning in the bottom side of the map, being the Shattered Temple, I believe, and his opponent happens to be Gamania Sen, our Taiwanese blue Zerg player, spawning in the top hand side of the map. And there you go, starting off the match with some friendly happy birthday yesterday. Thank you, very friendly talk, always good to see. And I would also like to say thank you very much to Anaris for making this happen. I am very grateful. I am very excited about this, and I'll just get straight into the game because I'm sure you don't want to hear me babbling on about that all the time. Okay, so interesting, these two players. This game is from BlizzCon, however it was not casted yet. I'm a bit sick at the moment, so I might not sound brilliant today, but yeah, I will be sick for a while, I think, because I do have a bit of a lung infection, so they tend to hang around for a bit. Well, I don't think my lung's infected, but it's horrible. Anyway, the point is, today's match does feature Select, who recently won the North American Battle.net Invitational, a big StarCraft 2 tournament, obviously for the US server. He came first place, beating players such as Huck, Idra, and Chef, who were second, third, and fourth players, and he won $10,000 for that one tournament win. So Select, obviously a very top player from the US server, one of the top Terrans in America, if not the top, frequently ranked #1 in the Grandmaster League, although he has not laddered much at all this season so far, and the Grandmaster League doesn't yet exist. So, meanwhile, Sen, he is a Taiwanese player, and he came first in the Taiwanese Battle.net Invitational, also winning $10,000. So both of these two players have just come first on their servers in huge tournaments, beating all the other top players from those servers. So this is probably going to be a pretty awesome series, as this is a best-of-3 series, and this is the first game. So looking at what these players are doing so far, we have seen a 15 hatch, then 14 pull coming out of Sen, so that means he is not going to drag up between the hatch and the pull. He wants to be safe from any 2-racks. He is probably a bit concerned about that. This map, well, 2-racks basically works on any map you can imagine, really, and yeah, obviously I don't know if that'll be a threat or not yet, because Select has not revealed what he is going, and yep, he is going for a supply depot first. He does have that one gas up, that does just a lack of a 2-racks, and it looks like he will be safe to expand. That is, Sen will be safe to expand. So I'd assume that Select, knowing his playstyle a bit, would want to expand fairly quickly himself, and yeah, just obviously he, on par and macro, he's a very solid player in just about every aspect of his game, probably best known for his drop play. He is very fun to watch. Okay, so we do see this spawning pool completing. No gas yet for Sen, so no speed will be on the way, no fast bailings or roaches. Just gonna get out a bunch of lings for defense, maybe to get a couple of spines. Just have to wait and see about that one though. As we are seeing, it looks like Select go forward for some sort of early bunker marine pressure. I don't know if this is very serious about this or not. It looks like he's making 2 bunkers, so he is going for some sort of cheesy play here. I don't think it'll work though, to be honest, because there are already 5 drones out here. This would maybe work if no drones had transferred yet for Sen, if all of his drones were in his main, but seeing as they were in his natural, seeing as the spawning pool was finished, seeing as he got that 14 pool, not delaying it, he should be fine, and yet, obviously holding that very easily, and that is going through nothing but puts Select a little bit behind at the start of this game. Okay, meanwhile, in the base of Select, we do see a reactor going down on that barracks, a factory coming up, so we will see some very fast Hellions coming out, 2 at a time, and he's expanding off the back of this. So very popular playstyle there, just to go for that reactor Hellions into fast expansion for a Terran player against a Zerg player, just because it allows you to do a couple of really cool things. The first is that, obviously, it's very good against Lings. Early pressure tends to be killed unless they go for a super fast roach push, in which case you might lose the game, but that is obviously not happening for Sen, as he has not taken his gas until right now. And also, it means your opponent can't expand, because if they try to move out, obviously they will be basically killed off by Hellions. Hellions are very, very fast. They can intercept drones that are trying to expand, and really, it's basically impossible to expand on most maps against a, against Hellions. So we are seeing the Lynx apply a bit of pressure here. They did kill a few workers, but we are seeing Select actually get this wall up, back up. His SCV will go down this wall and will go down quite quickly, but 2 Hellions will come out. So I think Select will, he's pulling a lot of SCVs, but I think he should be okay if he micros correctly here. Maybe he should support those that Hellion a little bit more with the SCVs, and yes, he is going to right now. And yeah, he should be okay, but there will be a bit of damage dealt here. So very, very nice pick up there by Sen, gonna put him further ahead at the start of this game. Already seen Select fall behind, it looks like twice so far, so certainly very impressive. Not too many workers were killed though there. 8, I think, yeah, so that is significant damage. He does have mills though, he does have 2 orbitals that won't put him out of this game by any means, although it looks like he is certainly behind. And with a Rotron on the way, oh, we'll be interesting to see if he can deal with this indeed. Okay, so we have this reactor being rebuilt. We have a reactor being built on this barracks. Oh, this might not work out very well for him. If a big roach push is indeed what is on the way, he will need a lot of marauders, I think, to hold it off. And without killing a reactor there, he won't have those early marauders, and I think this is really because he doesn't know what's happening in the base of Sen, and he is very far behind at this point. So I don't know, will he be able to recover or will he not? The question is, will Sen just expand off this, because that'll put him further ahead, that'll consolidate his lead, or will he go for the kill? Considering that there is that reactor on that barracks, I think he can go for the kill potentially, so we'll have to see if that is indeed what does happen. Okay, so meanwhile we do happen to see the spines moving out for Sen. That suggests an expansion, possibly. Maybe trying to secure this high location a bit, trying to push these Hellions back. And this is a very, very nice play, as it does mean that these Hellions might not actually be able to do their job and prevent Sen from expanding. So very, very good work there, spreading that creep. And we do see 7 roaches on the way, so a 7 roach push. Will that be, I assume that's what's on the way. And looking at the army of Select, it doesn't really have much at all. It doesn't really exist or very much, and we are seeing a few roaches moving out now. We do need to see some bunkers coming up for Select if he is to hold this. He does have Hellions to scout this, so I'm sure he will probably respond very quickly with some bunkers, but where are those bunkers? He is sending out 1 SCV, getting extra supply calling in there. That means he's supply blocked himself, so Select is actually all over the place. He is panicking from being behind. You can tell when someone's basically mentally behind in a StarCraft game. That is a big side of the game, and we can see the roaches are now moving out across the map with very little to respond to them. A bunker is going up, but it was going up too late, I think. That was a very slow reaction timing there by Select, who is not doing a very good job in this game at all, and he is going to lose this bunker, he's going to lose that supply depot, and he is going to be at least forced to lift off to his main. Will he lose the game? I don't know. We are seeing a lot of links for again, and it will supply depot realize, no, it won't. All the links being allowed to run straight into the main of Select, and this should be the end of the game here, because I think there's just way too many units, and there is the GG. So that is game number 1. I will certainly be casting the best of 3 series. I do know that certainly game number 2 is going to be a lot longer than this one, as I can see the game timers, so don't worry about that. It's not going to be a crappy series. It should be a very fun series indeed. Just a quick first game. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that game. Again, thank you to Anaris for giving me this opportunity. I certainly plan to be taking advantage of it, and I hope you enjoyed that game. It showed, it wasn't the best game at it by any means. It was basically just Select falling behind and then losing, so not the most entertaining to watch. Yeah, his Lings really got in a bit too easily. If more SCVs were pulled at the start by Select, if he'd had a few more SCVs repairing that wall in, he probably would have been able to survive. He probably wouldn't be able to hold off until the Hellions came out. I think he just got a little bit overconfident there. I think he just felt like, I think he didn't realize just how big the threat was from his opponent, and when that transition into roaches did occur, it was just the end of the game. So we did see a bit of response here by Select. He did try to go for a bit of a drop play in the back here, but as you can see, that had just literally unloaded. It hadn't done any damage yet. It was coming out too little too late, and if these units were back at the base, he probably wouldn't have been able to hold anyway. So a good attempt at coming back into the game with that drop. Unfortunately, it was bad timing. The drop wouldn't have meant that Sen would have been forced to keep his army back in his base, but as it was, it didn't end up doing any damage at all. It didn't have any impact on the game before it did finish. So very good game there. Well, sorry, not very good game, but good players, and I'm sure there will be good games to come, so please do check them out, and thank you again for letting me do this, and that is all for the first game. So moving on to game number 2 in just a moment. Hello everybody, this is C0MMISSAR back for game number 2 between Select, our red Terran player spawning in the bottom right hand side of the map, and his opponent today is, of course, Sen, just like game number 1, and this is again from BlizzCon 2011. Okay, so last game was fairly interesting. I hope you have watched that first, and again, thanks to Naris for doing this for me, but Yeah, so it was very interesting. It was just Select basically doing a standard opener and making a few mistakes. I think that just shows that he felt very, very nervous, and hopefully he'll be doing a lot better this match. I mean, this match, Shakura's Plateau, cross positions, it's a lot easier to secure your fast expansion on very, very small choke point there. So, of course, that will be very beneficial to Select, hopefully. Hopefully he'll feel more comfortable in this situation. I don't know. He should really feel comfortable on any map, really. And he is not going to go for a super fast expansion with the first supply depot on the high ground. Occasionally you see it on the low ground. Occasionally people go for super fast expansions. But when you're behind in a series like this, then it's really not a good idea at all. Okay, so what do I expect from this game? I'd expect a 15 hatch from Sen. Of course, against Terran, that is probably the most standard build on any map. Sometimes people go for pull first if they're afraid if they're really afraid of very, very early marine pressure. That's really not an issue at this level. Generally, 15 hatch is the norm, especially on this map. Okay, so obviously I introduced these two players last game, so I won't get too heavily into that. So maybe I'll just tell you a little bit about myself. For those of you who don't know, I am Australian, I am a StarCraft 2 commentator, obviously. I am sick at the moment, so I'm not going to be brilliant today, and yeah, I'm one of the only Australian StarCraft 2 commentators out there. Not many on YouTube exist, certainly not many. I'm basically the only one, I think, with more than 300 subscribers, so it's interesting. It's interesting that there's a lack of that, seeing as there is a fairly big Australian StarCraft 2 scene, although lots of players are active in the community. Not many pros. Moonvid's the only really big name, and we don't really get our names out there that much. The SEA server is tiny. Most players from Southeast Asian server play on the US server as well because it's so small, and it's not the best. I am trying to cover that as well on my channel, so if you're interested in Southeast Asia, you should check out my channel for that too. Okay, so as this game has started to get underway, starting to get a little bit interesting, we do see Sen go for that 15 hatch, like I thought, and he is also going for that 14 pull, just like last game, and meanwhile we do have Select going for, again, some early marine pressure just off one barracks. I don't normally like this, because generally you need two barracks to really kill, well, pressure a so player is just it's just a small commitment from Select, and I think he's just trying to make something happen without overcommitting, obviously. So he will be going down for a barracks in any second now, but again, the drones are on the low ground. They will be able to help hold that off if there is a wall off on this ramp, but no, it cannot even exist at this point, just because there is no, well, there's creep there now, so he can't build there, and he is actually going off back to base, realizing that he has showed up too late to do any significant damage. Not even going for an overload kill, interestingly enough. Maybe he could get that off, but probably not. Okay, so meanwhile in the base of Select, we do again see the same build as last time, going for fast reactor Hellions, although this time he will be a lot safer, as he's not lost a lot of units in the early game like he did last time. Sen as well, last time he produced many lings early on to deal with his opponent's play of that of the early pressure, and as a result he was able to apply counter pressure, do a lot of damage. That doesn't exist this game either, so it should hopefully be a long macro game, so we'll just have to wait and see how it does unfold. Okay, so we are seeing some Hellions coming out 2 at a time now. One Zergling is scouting this, actually 2 Zerglings actually, they will both be taken out, but a very good scout by Sen nonetheless. Very good timing on the Zerglings, and yeah, trying to delay it a bit by taking that SCV was a good idea. Didn't happen, you wouldn't expect it to, but it's always a good thing to try for. And Select is now moving out with his first couple of Hellions. Supply blocked again, a mistake, well, probably not a mistake, I think it was just a result of going for that command center. I probably should have just cancelled one of those Hellions in the queue and to make that supply depot a bit earlier, but it's not a big deal. He's not going to be supply blocked for very long, and he's already not supply blocked anymore, so it's not a big deal. Okay, so these Hellions are going to get map control straight away. They're looking around for Zerglings at the moment, checking the watchtowers are free, and they are going to be going into trying to apply some sort of pressure. There is a spine and a queen up. That spine does cover the ramp completely, which is very good. Fairly good positioning. At the same time though, often if players do commit heavily to their two Hellions, you would like to get either roaches or a second spine, so covering the mineral line, or trying to, in case say the Hellions decide to go for a run by. Roach Warren is on the way. It is a little late, I don't know, we might have a short window of opportunity for Select to try and get by, try to do some sort of damage with these Hellions, or he might alternatively just sit at the back and just wait. Deny an expansion of his opponent and just macro up and total up and get into the standard build, which I assume he's going for, of some Siege Tank Medevac Marine play. Although a reactor is interestingly on the way instead of a tech lab, I guess that means he's going to go for some early Medevacs on the reactor. Probably going to be going for some drops, knowing him just because he's Select, and Yeah, that is interesting. It's going to mean later siege tanks, as the Hellions also mean later siege tanks, so he is going to be vulnerable to that roach play. So hopefully he'll be able to hold it off this time. He does already have bunkers going up, so he'll probably be okay. And yeah, he is going to be putting that reactor onto that starport for those medevacs. Okay, so yeah, plenty of Marines coming out. If you get, say, just this one bunker, maybe 2 or so, he will be fine, especially with the repairs. And we are seeing another roach push, a 6 roach push, not a 7 roach push this time. Well, 7's a bit late from Sen, and he should, like I said, it shouldn't be much of a problem once this bunker is up, which is going to be before this attack does hit. And lots and lots of Marines on the field this time because there was no early losses again. Also, a longer distance between bases on this map, very, very long indeed. This map is known for that macro, for encouraging that macro style, and you can see Sen is going to send a lot of links too, so he is going for a big attack here. It's a big commitment, and will it be able to be held? It's quite hard to tell with all those links as well. Medevacs have come out onto the field now. SCVs are being pulled to try and repair the bunker. They are probably going to keep that up for some time. The Marines, though, outside of the bunker being killed quite quickly. Some very nice sunset micro there by Select, though. He does have Stimpack. He's doing a very nice job, and yes, he is cleaning that up very, very well. Some very, very impressive Marine micro able to basically deny those Zerglings completely. Hardly any harvests were lost, only what? No, 0 harvests were lost in that attack, and as a result, you can see the food count is now favoring Select. So he's gone from being crushed by that push to just completely annihilating it. So he certainly knows his build order. He's executing it a lot better than last time. He obviously knows it very, very well, as you would generally if you're in a tournament like BlizzCon. And he still has no siege tanks, just going for Marine medevac, and is probably going to go for some sort of elevator play into the back of the base of Sen, I would assume, at this stage. It's going to bypass the spine, bypass that ramp, easy to get into the main, and you can see 3 queens of Sen are being pulled. He expects this to happen. Will he be there in time? I don't know. It looks like Select is aware of this, and is going to push the front instead at the same time. So Sen is being thrown all over the place by these medevacs, by these Marines. They're so mobile, that's where they're most powerful. Gonna kill that spine, and gonna do a lot of damage, it looks like, with 1 queen already going down. A few wings are going down, all the drones are being pulled, and then picking up a hard pickup at the last second there, gonna save every single Marine, just about. A couple did go down, but meanwhile we did see him kill no workers, but he did kill a queen. He did kill, was it 1 or 2 queens? He kills 2 queens and a few lings with minimal losses, so Select is certainly ahead at this stage of the game. He is not, he is expanding, sorry, he is getting his 3rd off the back of this. His 3rd will be ahead of his Zerg opponents, so he is going to be way ahead in macro as well. And this drop blade, the beauty of it is while you can macro up, your opponent can't move out, because if they do, they're at risk of basically losing the entire game, because a drop play could destroy their main base. So Sen is being kept inside of his base, while Select is macroing up very, very heavily, and now Siege is coming out, so now the sand build has been achieved by Select, and he has done a very, very nice job of that this game. Okay, so looking at what's happening now, we just, again, just have these 2 Marine floated medevacs sitting at the back. They are out of energy, probably going to wait to heal these Marines up, get their energy back, which will take a little bit of time. No, they're just going to go straight in the base, but this will not work at all. Oh, going to lose all these Marines, possibly. No, but picking up a very, very good reaction time there by Select. And meanwhile, we do see another medevac moving around here. Did that drop? I don't think so. So we are seeing just a lot of drop play, just drops all over the place. Medevacs all over the map now for Select. He does have this one worker over here, just to make sure that nothing does happen over here. No expansion can go down. And you can see this expansion is going to be attempted by Sen, and it's not going to happen because that SCV is there. So that's a very, very nice play, and he's just continuing to drop and keep Sen in his base. He's trying to expand, but now he's going to pull links, he's going to have delayed expansion, and like I said, yeah, he's behind in food. Again, Sen is behind in food against a Terran at the 12-minute mark. Behind in bases too, really, and it's not a good position to be in. I mean, he's not behind in bases yet, but there isn't an orbital there. Not really doing anything yet. It has finished recently, but I'm sure it will be utilized very, very quickly indeed. Okay, so meanwhile in the main of Select, we do happen to see what more barracks coming up. We do see 2 factories, so it's going to get quite a high siege tank count actually. Some players just get that 1 factory and pump out mostly Marines and medevacs and just a few siege tanks. I think because of the later timing of those siege tanks, that is why Select is going for this instead. And we are seeing, yeah, some drop play over here is going to again delay that 3rd of Sen, which is now only just going up, as we are seeing Select now land before the base of Sen is even completed. Okay, so we're seeing a timing push here, 2 siege tanks. We are also seeing some Marines over about the place in medevacs. He's going to try and drop the main as he pushes the front at the same time. Very, very good play, but it looks like there are mutas on the field. They are aware of this, so mutas, of course, are the counter to drops, and they will pick up this drop very, very nicely. So very, very good play there by Sen. His overlord did spot that very, very nicely. Moving though in the front, we do see a huge number of units here by Sen. He's going to be able to completely surround and destroy this attack by Select, so that did not work out very, very well for him at all. He's getting most of the lings though with very good Marine micro. Maybe going to kill the roaches. I think he's going to have to pick up and evacuate, as there are now Marines joining the freight. Sorry, mutas joining the freight too. That means you can't evacuate because of course the mutas are going to clear out everything. So very, very nice there by Sen, keeping him in the game, putting him in a good position yet again. Okay, so Select does have, he's saved most of his medevacs, it looks like, although are there enough Marines to kill these mutas? I don't think there are at this point. These missile turrets will be what is crucial, and maybe Sen should have gone in there before they completed. No, he's not, and he's being scared away by a group of Marines, which these mutas could actually kill. Something a lot of players need to do, I think, a lot more, is to actually just commit their mutas to attacking small groups of Marines. And here are the repairs on the missile turrets. That is a bad position for Sen, losing 2 mutas very, very cheaply. So, oh, that is not good at all. So, meanwhile, he's been kept at bay. The muta harass hasn't done very much damage, and it is actually shaping out to be a very, very close game. So I'm just very, very excited about this, because it's so far been very, very quick, very, very intensive. And as you can see, despite the APM nerf, where basically players with 300 APM now have, say, 80 APM or something ridiculous, or maybe 100 APM, I'm exaggerating a little bit. It's like having 173 APM that excludes spam now. The idea is that it excludes repeated actions, it excludes selecting units, it excludes the use of hotkeys, as in just, sorry, control groups, just going back and forth between your control groups. That is no longer APM, and still have 173. That is impressive. So, meanwhile, we do happen to have Sen just flying around this mutaflock. Of course, the bigger that gets, the better it is for him. A high muta count just doing damage the whole game basically is what a Zerg wants the entire game. He does have overlords in a good position to try and watch for drops before they even come out. That is also a very nice play by Sen. But look at Select, he's moving out big groups of Marines and medevacs. Well, big, I mean medium-sized groups of Marines, and he is doing a very, very good job of this. It's shark mode is a phrase used by In Control to describe this sort of play with a Protoss player. I'd say that Select is doing the same sort of thing with his Terran army in being constantly mobile, constantly active on the map, not allowing the Zerg player to sit back and play passively to say macro up a lot. Instead, he's just applying more and more pressure. So, we do now see Select moving in. He is sieging up before any engagement does happen, which is very good for him, clearing up creep 2. So a very important thing to remember. Lots of players neglect to do this. They don't kill the creep tumors, they just move in recklessly with their army. Of course, we are seeing a very good job of Select. He's going to clear out the creep, so that banelings especially will not be very effective. And there are no banelings really on the field though. So I think banelings are what is needed. Now some are on the way. And yeah, banelings of course are going to be the best thing against these Marines. But on creep, they're a lot better than off creep, so that is good. And picking up a free siege tank there, mistake there by Select, very good play there by Sen. And losing a few mutas there unnecessarily. That meanwhile, moving on with these few Marines up here, they are not going to go down because they are going to go back to the siege tank line, and it's very intensive back and forth play. No drops are going down. The overlord positioning of Sen is so good. I doubt drops would be very effective at this stage of the game. And the only other thing I'd like to say at the moment, 2-1 upgrades are up for Sen, and 2-1 upgrades are up for the Lings. But considering that they're Marines and that the Roaches don't have their +1 attack upgrade, neither do the mutas, I'd say the upgrade's favor Select at this stage. Especially because he does have that +1 on his siege tanks, and oh, maybe gonna get surrounded here, but no, just back in the nick of time to those siege tanks, so it's very, very intensive here. And we are seeing no speed upgrade yet done for those banelings. They're not going to be very effective at all. And oh, here we go. He's continuing to poke forward, harass, and meanwhile a drop is going down at the back for Select. He is going to be cleared out by mutas, but doing a little bit of damage nonetheless, killing about 6 workers in that drop, so very, very good damage dealt there. And we are seeing investors now out, so that is what he needs to try and get those rounds, so they cannot run back to the siege tanks every time. So now I think Select is going to have a lot more trouble moving forward and putting on a lot more pressure as this game goes forward. And here comes a big push here by Sen, just rolling out with everything. I don't know if he has enough though. He probably has enough. I think just to kill the Marines. That'll leave the mutas to kill everything else. But no, he's being forced back at the last second there. Just enough siege tanks, barely. 14 kills in that one. How many kills on the other siege tank? I can't even click on it. 8. That's 22 kills between 2 siege tanks. Shows you how much they're doing. 8 kills in that one before it went down to. And 2 Thors now out to try and deal with those mutas. Of course, magic boxing is now commonplace in StarCraft 2. So Thors aren't as good as against mutas as they used to be. But still very powerful, especially with that +1 attack upgrade. And they will be doing a very good job with these mutas to clump up. And you can see one already going down. So very good job there by Slug in terms of his micro, but leaving these siege tanks perhaps a bit undefended here. Lings may have been able to run in there and take advantage, but no, it's not really much of a window at all. Meanwhile, I do see one Ling running around. Sen just gonna do a little bit of harass, a little bit of poking, gonna scout that 4th timing, and that's probably gonna tell Sen I need a 4th too, because my opponent does have a 4th, and I'm only on 4 bases myself, so you want to keep a base ahead as a Zerg player, of course. Okay, so as seeing scans go off, both players know it's in each other's armies. Excuse me, of course I did mention I was a bit sick. Well, I am sick at the moment, and we do see the mutas just fly around. They are being kept in low numbers though, so very good job on that front by Select, as he is doing a very good job in general in this game, keeping on top of almost every aspect of the game. But Sen has been playing well too. Look at the overloads, they've given so much vision, he's been pretty good in the micro. Only mistake I really think he's made is overextending his mutas just a few times, but running in here, you can see, trying to get a few kills off here, but running into the Thors, gonna lose every single mutalisk. That was the kind of thing I'm talking about. Overextending the mutas, just not paying enough attention. As soon as he saw those 2 Thor hits go off, he should have realized, holy crap, one more hit and my mutas are dead, and run away. He didn't, they did die. That was pretty horrible for him, and now he is close to max though, as 8 ultras are on the way. They will be out on the way. Out on the field before any big engagement does happen though. Although Ultra's a bit questionable as to what their effectiveness will be. Heart of the Swarm is of course going to make them a lot better, as they are going to get a sort of charge ability, barrow charge sort of thing. That'll make them a lot better, but meanwhile we do see a drop going in the back here. A couple of spines here, enough to delay it and scare it away. It is going to mean the front is a bit less defended, and Select clearing out supply by killing off SCVs here. It's going to allow him to get a slightly bigger army. You can see Sen not even sure whether he has to kill them or not. Of course they were attacking him, so he had to, but there you go. Next tab now, showing 68 Marines. We are seeing too many halves are forced. Like, I think it's going to make his army a little bit smaller, but here come the Ultras just trying to charge in. Will they be enough to break this attack of Select? I don't know. It looks like they're just going to be enough to just roll through it here, and we are seeing more units coming in forced. Like, they are out of position though at the moment. The Marauders are arriving a little bit too late to deal with these Ultras, but it is very close nonetheless. Most of the Ultras have been killed, only a few are remaining, as those doing quite a nice job, and one of them is also being saved. Excuse me. These are 4 Ultras, 4 Marauders are exactly what it needs against this army composition, but will they be there in time? I don't know. A lot of bases are out of Select, and here's the key thing, Sen just rallying in tons and tons and tons of Lings, so that is going to be very good nonetheless. And oh my god, all those Ultras actually dying there, to those Marauders, to those siege tanks, so Select actually saving that situation very well, and we are just seeing a few. All these Lings are the only problem left. Will he kill the economy of Select? He does have so many resources saved up, it won't be too big a deal if he does. And meanwhile, we do see just a few other Lings being separated from the rest and being killed, while some of them are left in the middle line trying to do some sort of damage. They're not really getting that done. But meanwhile, over this base, that has been forced to be lifted. Select is all over the place at the moment. Well, he's being forced to, excuse me, he's being forced to basically run all over the place. He doesn't have very good control over anything really at the moment. He is ahead in food though. He sorry, I keep coughing now. He's doing quite a good job, and he's going to kill that infestor for free. So, Select actually is actually completely fine. What am I saying a second ago? But it was very good attempt there by Sen, trying to go maybe a bit too eagerly into ending the game mode. But he was a little bit careless, I think, charging his Ultras into that choke. Maybe we should have gone up to one of these locations up here before the planetary finished, but we are seeing both players with a lot of money here. Bungle growth going down there quite nicely there, but Sen at this stage doesn't have the food count he needs. He doesn't have the army composition either in Festerling. More of a mid-game composition, excuse me, than a late-game composition, so it's not going to be very good for him at all in that regard. And we are going to see he's just setting up this another base over here, but a drop is going down over here. 1 Marine, 3 kills, 3 upgrades on Marines, 3 Marines, basically a tier 3 unit. That is the problem, and we are going to see it's going to kill these 2 Lings, and the Spine is going to kill it, so it's okay. That is 1 Marine doing a bit of damage. That's how much how cost efficient Select has been this game, which is going to show, I think, in this last tab. And yep, about 8,000 is the difference in units last tab, so there you go. That is why Select is so far ahead. He's been so efficient, he's all over he's spread his units so well across the middle of the map. He's playing this so well, and Sen is not doing a bad job, but at the same time, yeah, like I said at this stage, it's a bit too late. He's seeing Broodlords though now. Broodlords are the units he needs, but I think it will be too little too late, as he may not be able to make enough, although he does have quite a few on the way. It's a question of timing. Will he have enough time to build up the army he needs? Although at this stage, wow, this is going to be a planetary, I think, being used aggressively. to shut down a section of the map, and this hatchery is going to be denied too. It's really cleaned up, but of course Select is going to be instantly maxed out on Fruit again. Going into Ghosts 2 as a late game change. Very, very powerful change to make. And also EMP going down on a couple infestors. Gonna miss a few of them though, so Fungals are still left in the bag for Send, but moving his infestors a bit too far forward there. I think extending them a little bit too much can be flanked and completely killed up. And that will probably end the game there, because without infestors, this army composition of Broodlords is not going to be enough at all without those Fungals. And yeah, this will be cleaned out pretty easily, and this should be the end of the game. So that is, I think, going to be it. We do have a big economy left for Send, but he is no money saved up. He has no money saved up, I should say. The Hive, yeah, of course the Hive is done, but only Lings on the way, a few Ultras is not going to be enough to break this, and this should be the GG. Well played there, and good game indeed. So that was a very, very exciting game number 2, a lot better than game number 1. It's like making a very, very good recovery. So I have to go into the final game of the best 3 series in just a moment. So that was very exciting indeed. Thank you again to Inaris. And I think the reason why I Select won it, he's been all over the place with his drops, very effective with that. Denying the third base of Send repeatedly. Upgrades are brilliant. And yeah, just general control of his units is really good this game. So very well done Select. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next cast. Please do check out my channel, support it if you like. And that is all from me for this game. We're going to game number 3 in just a moment. Hello everybody, this is Commissar back for game number 3 between Select, our blue Terran player spawning in the top right hand side of Abyssal Caverns, the map today, and his opponent happens to be none other than Sen from Germania, however you pronounce his clan name. I'm not very familiar with it, but that's not too important. What is important is this is the final match of a best of 3 series between basically the top player from Taiwan, in terms of he won the recent tournament, the Taiwan Invitational, and the winner of the North American Invitational, Select. So while Select, it's obviously going to be very, very disputed if I call him the number 1 in America, because lots of people would say he is not. He hasn't won that many tournaments. He's not generally as good as Hug and Idra would be, say in MLGs. The Invitational, the North American Invitational, actually has a much bigger prize pool than MLG. It's actually a bigger tournament, so he's certainly one of the top few players out there. So very, very impressive to see him doing so well at a big tournament. Finally, that's really the only huge tournament that I think he's actually won. As in huge, as in $10,000 huge. Meanwhile though, Sen has of course won $30,000 in prize money in the last few months from 3 different tournaments, each giving him $10,000. And that is just so impressive. And yeah, he's obviously doing a very, very good job in this series. He has obviously won one. He won the first game, it was a fairly quick game. The second game a lot longer. And the third game, well, is this now, but the second game of course he didn't do so well in, as in he played well. His overall positioning was brilliant. I think that was the coolest thing about his play, just the brilliant vision that he had all over the map, spotting all those drops. The drops didn't do so much damage, was selected at the same time. He controlled the flow of the game. He kept Sen in his base, and that is why he won. He never had a huge army, but he controlled the flow of the game, and that is a really powerful skill to have. If you can control a player like Sen, you are obviously an incredible player. So that is very, very well done to him. Very, very impressive victory in game number 2, and game number 3 we'll have to see what does happen. I hope it won't be a repeat performance of anything we've seen so far. Just have to wait and see about that one though. Okay, so we do see a 15 hatch coming out for Sen. He also happens to have a spawning pool coming out at 14 again, same build timings as last time. No gas out yet on the field, and meanwhile from Select we do not have anything particularly special done yet. No, well there is gas, sorry, my mistake, and he is going to go straight into factory. So again, the same opening from both players yet again. They both know they could have won last game. They both know, well, game number 1 was obviously not very close at all, but they knew they could have won last game, so I don't think Sen will feel too inclined to change things up. Just going to try and keep a little bit more on top of his unit control, a little bit more on top of us, like try and just shut down his play a little bit more efficiently. I'll have to see what his methodology will be for doing that though, because I'm sure he will have to do something differently to last game if he hopes to win. Maybe the different map will be the difference, we'll just have to wait and see. Okay, so the reactor is now coming out for Select. Of course, reactor Hellions will be on the way, and these Marines will deny scouting easily with that wall in, which is really why the wall in exists. Well, half the reason why the wall in exists is to deny scouting, as lots of players don't even wall off. Actually, against Zerg they tend to wall off, just to avoid ling run bys too, but in this map, you tend to wall off your natural pretty quickly. Lots of players go for that wall in there, but this also denies early game scouting if you are going for that fast expansion. So Hellions are now on the way, 2 at a time. I assume he's doing the same build as last game. Yeah, the Command Center is on the way, so it is again a file expansion about the same timing. So if you're looking for a guy playing standard, well, a fairly standard build, he's not playing completely standard, is he, Select? But if you want a build to follow, these games would be great to watch. Just follow them more closely. It's pretty easy to find the VODs. Just Google BlizzCon 2011 replays, and there's a link from a Team Liquid thread. Basically, the first result of Google. Sorry, if you're wondering. And yeah, so that's how you find the replays if you're curious about studying them a little bit more closely. Okay, so we do see a Spine Killer now coming out of Sen. That is going to help against these Hellions a lot, but the main ramp is a bit vulnerable. I don't know if that Queen can block it completely. Apparently it can. I thought it needed to, but excuse me. With Lings that are out on the field too, it shouldn't be much of a problem for Sen to block these Hellions. Also creeping forward that spine a little bit just to shut down the area quite a lot better, and also putting that Roach Horns such that it walls off the front a little bit. Very, very good positioning there by Sen, as he will be making a wall in against Hellions, I think, or at least a partial wall in, which Queens can fill. And there you go, the Lings actually blocking Hellions. Not so often you see Lings being used so well against Hellions, and yeah, this game, a difference is, I think, Select last game was a lot more effective with these Hellions. Didn't do a lot of damage straight off, but he did do a good job of shutting down the expansions from Sen. And it looks like Sen is trying to get forward to try and deny these Hellions a little bit with that Spine Crawler, with that wall, and with those extra Queens. So he is doing a very good job so far in this game. Now Zoggen's speed is done too. That'll also help a lot against those Hellions. Oh, I think Zoggen just ran into the base of Select, and he did see quite a lot. I think he saw a floating building too, and wow, so he got a complete scout there. He knows about the barracks, he knows that there's only one factory, he knows that there is probably going to be a support on the way, because he saw that reactor too, and he also knows about this expansion. So Sen knows everything at the moment. An Overlord just went down somewhere. I think there was a scout, that was over here, so that did supply block Sen, and we do have another one coming into the back to scout a little bit more. Okay, so we do happen to have what, yeah, the gas has gone up for Sen. He does have no lair started yet. Maybe gonna go for mutas. He could start the lair right about now if he wanted to. Maybe gonna go for some roaches straight away. We'll have to wait and see about that one, as he does already have roaches, sorry, on the field. Very important to note, those roaches have actually denied those Hellions. The expansion is going up. They have not denied it at all. So very, very good work there by Sen. Perhaps Select should have been a bit more aggressive with those Hellions to try and contain Sen a little bit better. Excuse me, I'm just going to have a little bit of water because I've been casting quite heavily today. Wonderful. So, yeah, if I do take any long breaks, just assume I'm taking a sip of water, because you do need to have water if you're casting so long, otherwise it just feels so horrible. Happened a bit to me last game. Of course, I'm a bit sick too, which I apologize for. We're seeing a little bit of a micro-dancing battle here. These Hellions, of course, not the best unit against a Roach, and the Roach is, of course, going to push back those Hellions back to the base of Select. There is no speed on those Roaches. I really feel like Select could be doing a lot more of the Roaches than he is doing. I mean, the creep hasn't even spread to them until could be waiting for some sort of drone transport to come down, try to intercept it, try to kill some drones. He isn't doing that, but he is going for some sort of push here, gonna do a drop, and earlier Marauders than last time, I will say. No tanks yet on the fields, but Marauders instead. Very interesting build here by Select, going for MMM, it looks like, at this stage. Okay, so Select is going up, he's going to apply a lot of pressure, he's going to kill it. One creep tumor. Oh, no, oh, it just survived. That's always unfortunate, and yeah, he's going to move up to try and do something. I'm not sure what it is yet, going to go to the third and see that it's there. He's going to try and kill it. But I think there are probably enough units to save it. I don't know. It looks like it will be held down a lot at the cost of the units of Select, possibly. Some quite nice micro will be required. If you focus it down, it will go down. But no, he's not going to focus it down. He is instead going to try and take on the army of Sen, and he's going to succeed, drive them off, and kill a third. So very, very good result there by Select. Yes, he is going to get out. Is he going to escape? Yes, into those medevacs. Very, very, very well executed attack there by Select. It's going to mean that his third timing is ahead of his opponents. As you can see, it's already on the way. I assume Sen will rebuild this instantly, basically, but yeah, still very, very good work there by Select. Okay, so we are seeing a few Marines and Marauders just moving on the map here. I think these are the same ones that just did the killing earlier. They do have +1 attack now, compared to what, any upgrades for the Zerg, just 1 armor too, so that's going to make it balanced out as if it was 0-0. So no upgrade advantage yet for either player. So very nice creep spread so far by Sen. You can see he's spreading it out quite quickly. Does he have a creep spreading queen? I'm not sure. He does have quite a few tubers out. 3 of them spreading creep solely at the moment. And he's going to kill these rocks just to make it a little bit easier to move around the map. Always good to be just doing stuff when not much is happening in the game. And he does know about the positioning of these wings and mortars. May try to surround them with his speedlings, but no. He knows the medevacs there, they can just be picked up, so you can't really kill them off at all, especially against a player who's so good using medevacs like Select. So good over the positioning yet again. I will actually just go to Sen's vision for a sec. Look at his vision. I mean, before you get to a hatchery, look at how far you'll be seen. All of this area from here to here, before a drop takes place, you'll see it, and you'll be able to get your spinnings over there in time to defend it. So very, very good overlord positioning there by Sen. Also, gonna make sure he knows when the third goes down, although no, he's not, because the third is going to be the high yield for our turn player. Very good, very interesting play there, and very interesting, I also think, that Sen has not scouted this location. Excuse me. Okay, so Sen, meanwhile, just having a few Zungs, a few roaches. Not the best composition at this stage, but infestors are on the way. Do they have Path Engine Glands? I'm not sure if they do. Yes, they do. So they will have their energy for fungal straight away, so that will be very effective as soon as it does come out. And I assume that Sen will maybe try to apply some pressure once he has those fungals. Until then, not really going to be in a position to do so. And like I said, as you can tell, he's able to see this. He's able to see it straight away. And the fungals are going to kill everything, so everything will go down. And no damage was dealt at all there. So very, very good play there by Sen. And oh, here's a pickup here. No, almost getting a few free kills there from Sen. We are seeing Select try to kill creep, so very, very good idea there by Select to try and move out to kill the creep. Of course, it didn't happen, it didn't work out well for him, but he didn't lose anything either, so it's completely fine. Okay, so meanwhile, from the Zerg player, what we see patrolling here that was there earlier, he knows when there'll be a fourth at least. I don't know if he knows about this third though, I'm just going to check his camera. He doesn't know about this third, so he thinks his opponent is on 2 base. He doesn't realize that there's a third base, and that is very, very crucial, as this third base is probably influencing the timings of Sen, and he probably would have already had this third if he knew about that, but he's getting it now, so he will not be too far behind in macro, I think. Okay, so we are seeing Sen, what, 2-1 upgrades, 2 being the armor versus the 1-1 of our Marines, so it will be a little bit favoring Sen in terms of the upgrade, but the army composition I think is probably a bit better selected at this stage. Marine, Marauder, Medevac, Siege Tank, very, very powerful indeed against Missling Infestor, so that'll certainly be very, very good for our turn play, especially with such a low Infestor count at the moment with that army, although plenty of energy for about 4 fungals on their own. Okay, so Select, he isn't pushing out, he's just slowly pushing, I think. Yeah, he's a slow push, but no, he's now going to go all out and just going to kill some creep, can kill that 1 tumor, easy, and now Sen is on the defensive, so we'll have to see what he does. And rallying a few lings in here, not the best idea. Those fungals maybe get a few kills on those Marines, and yes, they do kill a whole bunch of them. Meanwhile, though, we do see a huge push of these lings running in straight around everything. Gonna absolutely kill everything, so I think this is a very, very good engagement indeed. By Sen, gonna clean out everything. He's not gonna have much of an army left, but he did certainly hold that attack. I mean, there are a few surviving units, and really though, they're not going to be enough to do any damage, especially the fungal clips here. And yes, they do hit very, very nicely, so these medevacs keep a couple of units alive. Most of them will die, if not all of them. All we need is a few links to completely clean this out, but there's one thing I have to say. Ultras are on the field just like last game. The Marauders though are already out. They are very, very good against these Ultras, so that is a very important thing to note. That is the difference in composition from Select to deal with those Ultras a lot more efficiently, and that is working out well for him so far. Okay, so the 4th of Sen is up, it's not mining. Meanwhile, from Select, we see no 4th either, but we also see Burrow coming on the way for Sen, as there is another big engagement going on here, as the Ultras are coming in, killing quite a lot here, and I think Sen will be forced to, Select will be forced to retreat, and a few, this tank might be misread here, though it is going to siege up at the right time, so good spread on the tanks, but not enough tanks actually on the field for Select at the moment, but he is doing quite a good job with the units that he does have. The Marauders are obviously going to compensate a little bit for that lack of tanks. Okay, so we do still have the 4th now on the way for Select. It has started production. If this thing burrows, it will be a bit of a delay, as Burrow is about to be finished. And I think that's what he's going to plan to do. And we do just see a couple of units being cleared out here by Select. He's moving out yet again. His units are army's a bit spread out. I think when he's moving in, probably being a bit reckless. Maybe should be going for a bit more of a slow push with tanks. But oh, here we see a counterattack going to deny this 4th base very, very easily. And it's not even cancelled there, so that is just going to be 400 lost minerals here. Select will obviously hold it off. He's not going to be killed or anything by it, but it does do a lot of damage here. And we are seeing Select just big force retreat with this attack over here. So Sen on top of his game, I'd have to say at this stage, he's doing a lot of damage. He's holding off all of Select's pushes, he's counterattacking nicely, he's containing our Terran player to 3 bases. They are all low on minerals. Basically, Select desperately needs new bases. Sen, he's expanding again over here, probably going to secure this location over here very quickly. At the moment, the game is very, very definitely in the favor of our Zerg player. He's ahead in food too. I just want to say our Terran is out of it though. He is going to kill this base off. Very, very good drop there. Although no, he's not focusing on. Oh my god, he didn't kill it. Oh wow, he could have killed that so easily. He should have gotten that down. He didn't. He ended up wasting it. That was a big mistake there. But meanwhile, I do see Lingers trying to deny this base yet again. They will succeed. And oh, so many SABs going to go down there too. And they're even being used to attack here. 7 have gone down. Now, 9 actually going to scare away the Ultra here with a few reinforcing units. I think this Ultra should just turn around and eat up those SCVs before it runs away. And it's not going to do that. Yes, it will now do that. I think I'm extending a little bit there, certainly by Select. And yep, going to lose lots of SCVs, but not a big issue. And what is a big issue though is just the base count. He needs this base, say, over here. He needs this base over here. He really needs both of them to be back into the macro game. Although he can total up, he can do one big push. I think his strategy is going to be to go all in on one enormous 200 supply push. But meanwhile, Sen is doing a big push of his own, and the Marauders will help a lot against these Ultras, and the Fungals though are trapping all these Marines in position. They're just going to be eaten up by the Ultras, and not enough Marauders, I think, not enough Sea Chinks who deal with all of these Ultras here. And this is actually doing a lot of damage to the Planetary. Maybe it will hold. A bit hard to tell. Ultras are quite good against Planetaries with their splash damage, and we are seeing Infested Terrans also being utilized in this army with that 5 armor. These are only 2 attack upgrades on those Marines, and Marauders is going to make them quite weak against those Ultras. Indeed. So the upgrades I think are really making this go to Sen's favor. I think without those upgrades it would have been a lot closer than I think Sen Select's army composition was okay. He just needed to have upgrades here. And as you can see, all these units are focusing on these Ultras and they're taking so long to die, it's ridiculous. I mean, could always lift up to retreat here. I think he'll have to do that, otherwise he's going to be in a lot of trouble here. And if he is loading up as he runs away, going to load up the Siege Tanks too, just going to save the Siege Tanks. So very good macro there by Select. But he is lacking upgrades. The upgrade is on the way now. The 3rd attack upgrade is on the way. The no attack upgrades are on the Siege Tanks though, so that's really hurting them. Only doing about 20 damage to those Ultras with their 5 armor at this stage. Or 6 armor I think it is actually, so like a Buried Ultras with 6 armor, that is a scary thought. And Buried Ultras as well. Anyway, so we do happen to see this hatchery going down. Finally it's being focused down this time, so very good work there by Select. He's going to save half those Marauders, half of them are going to die it looks like. And maybe going to try and deny this space here. I doubt that'll happen though, unless Sen has moved away, and if he has, so he's going to deny this space I think, if he's paying attention, but no he's not paying attention, so he is not going to deny it at all. Oh, yes he is, sorry. Meanwhile I do see some Infestors moving in. Did they get any kills there? No, they didn't really do any damage, they're just going to move in, do a bit of scouting, realize, okay, they're not going to do very much, and Select is now trying to transfer over here. Oh, this is going to be a key moment in the game. If these Infestors get bungles off on these transferring SCVs, or they're all stuck on top of each other, it will be huge, and will that be happening? Is Sen paying attention? And yes, he is. No, he's not bungled. I think he could have bungled every single SCV at once. Instead, going to load it up with Infested Terrans, they're going to do a lot of damage nonetheless, and that was good. I feel like, killing the SCVs would have been better, but he's going to kill that orbital it looks like, so that very good damage there. Dealt slow reactions there by Select. He's going to repair it, he's going to save it. Going to lose the SCVs regardless though. Meanwhile, though, we are seeing a few units being cleared out by here. Select is all over the map. He's doing a very good job at trying to get back into this game, but I think he's just very far behind. It's very difficult for him at this stage. He does have the upgrades he needs though on his attack for his Marines and Marauders though. Maybe going to do a lot more damage against here. You can see it doing a bit more, but still not the most effective play. Sorry I keep coughing. I obviously can't help it, I'm really sorry about it. Okay, so we are seeing the Ultras just moving in here. They are doing a lot of damage, but they're mostly being killed. They are in a choke. That is the way to counter Ultras. Chokes really. More than anything, as in the open, they're just going to start and kill everything with their 6 armor. So, killing the Siegings here very, very nicely too, and Select, not having much of an army left here. You can see all the Siegings have actually gone down. This may be the end of the game for Select. Look at this, he does have units over here dropping, not actually attacking with them, too focused back on his base. Quite right, he should be, but look at this, he does not have much of an army left whatsoever at this stage. He has just got a few Marines, a few Marauders, maybe he's gonna kill this Ultra, yes, but all his infested Terrans, more Ultras on the way. I feel like Sen could just rally units into his base and kill him at the moment. This drop was cleared out before it did much. He did save the units though, so they're not too bad there. What is bad is I said he needed to be on get new bases. Essentially, Sen has starved out our current player, because he is out of bases now. He's mined out his natural, his main, his other base, and all he can do is mill up this base and hope for the best. He does have enough energy for meals, needs to custom right now, and oh my god, we are not going to see more fungals, are we? Or infested Terrans? Yes, we are, is the answer, I believe. Yep, there they go. And just when the mules are coming out, the infested Terrans are coming out, so all that energy will be wasted. All these mules will go down, and that is going to spell disaster for Select. Meanwhile, though, he's going to save a few units over here. He's being cost efficient, sure. Unit toss tab shows that he's actually lost a bit more, but he's been cost efficient generally. He just got such a little economy. It doesn't even matter. Maybe going to kill 2 Ultras here. He's doing a lot of damage with a few units, but he's just dying is the problem. He doesn't have enough economy, and he is doing another push over here, but Fungrowth is going to clear that out, it looks like. So very, very, very nice play there by Sen. He's going to clear all the units with Medevacs with the units inside of them. Okay, so you can see. Okay, a lot of damage is being dealt by Select, but like I said, he is stuffed. These 2 infestors, they're just waiting. They're just going to wait. Whenever a base comes over here, they're just going to move out and kill it, basically. And this is a disaster for Select. Elders in the back, and actually, look at the economy of our Zerg player. 2 bases left, they're both mining though. The key thing is, 3,500 minerals saved up, 600 gas. He can make a new army instantly. So he could make, I don't know, a ridiculous number of roaches. What's 24 roaches instantly? Now a lot more, now 50 roaches instantly, about that. So he is fine. He can remake up instantly. Select, he does have an okay army. His harvest account's very low, which is why his army's okay. But really, he's going to lose a lot of units here. Possibly all of them. This is probably going to be the end of the game. I mean, look at this. He's losing so many units, and he does not have the capacity to reinforce. I mean, he's going to kill them, yes, he's going to hold, but you're in a situation where you can't make another army. That is going to be the end of the game, and I hope you've enjoyed it, because I really think that'll be the end of us next time in this tournament. Okay, so it's been a very, very good series of games. Nonetheless, we have seen Sen get off to a flying start. Well, to a very, very just solid play in every single match. Of course, dominating the first game. The second game, a lot closer. He did play well though. Third game, he just dominated his opponent. He's not allowed Select to control him the way he did last game. Select has limited the base count of Sen, but at the same time, Sen's been 200 this whole time, and hasn't really been too important. And I think he's just dragging out the game a bit now. Select, I don't think he can win. He just doesn't want to get out of the tournament, and he's going to try and hold on for whatever he can. Of course, you might do that if you want to. If you really want to win the tournament, maybe he doesn't really. I think he realizes how good the economy of his opponent is. Maybe he thinks his units are a bit more effective than they were in the drops. But here we go. All the ultras can come in. I think this is enough to kill the army of Select. And when these tanks go down, Select will have nothing left at all. GG, well played, good luck, and that is the end of the game. So still being very well mannered is Select, as always, and that was a very good series, very enjoyable. And like I said, thank you again to Anar so much for doing this for me. Please do check out my channel. I'm basically the only guy from Australia bringing you replays. I do bring Southeast Asian replays to the table, and that is all from me for today. So I'll see you guys in my next cast, hopefully, and hopefully I'll see you on my channel. Just hopefully.